Okay, we cut. That's it for chest. And we're going to go into shoulders. And I'm already feeling my shoulders are already fatigued from doing the chest. And speaking of our muscle currency, I spent wasted a lot of my currency on my chest. And not just fatigue, but also I feel a bit of exhaustion, muscle exhaustion. So just take my time. I got a torture rack set up for shoulders, heavy, and I even figured out a way to do my stretch under load for shoulders, so it should be interesting. Getting a little bit of upper chest with that, which is good. Next to the collarbone, which is very important. Turning it into kind of a compound exercise, which is good. I do feel pre-fatigue on my shoulders, so that's good. And we're going for trying to make the weight do the micro tears, heavy weight. So see in the background, I got some heavy negatives set up for shoulders, so that should be interesting. I only got 4 reps, but instead of breaking it down, I'm just going to keep it heavy. And I'm just going to do it again. Repeat. If I get 3 reps, it's okay. It's heavy. Main point being the damage is being done under heavy load. So main thing is that you customize it for your personal body type. For instance, on shoulders I can't go very heavy overhead simply because I can't even, that's hard for me to do that. My bone structure or whatever is just all balled up right there. I just can't get my shoulders up overhead. So I have to lean back, kind of get the chest into it just to get that up, which is okay. I keep my elbows forward. My socket, most people, they have to keep their shoulder joint in this line. That's where people hurt themselves in the bench, is where they pop their shoulders out because their socket is popping out actually at that point. But I'm an extreme case. Mine seems to really be grooved in tight, so, but that's fine. I could still do overhead. I just have to lean back a little bit. No way, I can't do it in the back. For sure, I'd pop my shoulder out. So, anyway, here we go again. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into stretch under load. Before I do the negatives, which should be a nightmare. I got a lot of weight on there. I'm not used to doing overhead, but safe, keeping my elbows forward. And I got the safety set, so hey, if it hurts, I'll drop it. But this is you know, experiment. We got to keep it safe. So here's my version of stretch under load shoulders, resistance bands. That stretch. Okay, got it. I get that stretch in. Oh, oh yeah. Let me do a couple sets of those before I go to the negatives. Yeah, I feel the stretch. Let me try this. Stretch forward. Go up. Stretch forward. See, that's the beauty of using resistance bands. They're variable weight. You can't beat that. You can't do that with cables. You can't do it with free weights. And stretch. One more. And then I finish out with a stretch. Alright. That freaking hurts. In a good way. A little rest, and then go to these insane negatives. And then remember, I want to finish heavy. It'll be interesting. First negative felt pretty good. Not so worried about my safety not being there, but it's there in the right place. So normalize heart rate, go again. You know, feeding into this concept of muscle currency, and I can't even tell you how important it was to do the experiment with the muscle failure. Along that same line of thinking, I'm not saying this is right or whatever, but normalizing heart rate, keeping your cortisol down, and maximizing the fatigue you could do on the muscle with heavy weight. And you know, there again, you see a lot of guys in the gym, and they're just yelling and screaming and getting there. It's like an emergency situation. I'm guilty of the same thing, but this is a little different. We're trying to intelligently decipher this equation, and it's very interesting. So these things that I'm doing now today they are my new experiment with the you know, building muscle, and so it's quite different than the fatigue. You know, fatigue was just a straight out, all out, you know, experiment. This is more than just an experiment. This is actually, I think, is going to be beneficial. We'll see. Anyway, back, do some more negatives here. think we get 3 sets of negatives. Start spending our muscle currency. We've purchased some front press, some negatives. We did some stretch under load, and so I wanted to finish off heavy. It's going to do some side laterals maybe with the dumbbells, but again, we can utilize the power of our resistance bands to vary the weight, to make it as heavy as we want, light as we want, and we could go heavier on the weaker portion. So I think we're going to finish this off shoulders with shoulder raises with resistance bands. So here we go. See, if this was a fixed weight, that would be done. Would be done, but we could keep going. Maximum effort by varying the weight. Okay. But we don't want to get back into our experiment with muscle exhaustion. That's why we're going to kind of keep it heavy. So cut it, go heavy again, finish this shoulder routine, finish it off. I think I'm going to throw some negatives in the set before last just to get the rear delts, because haven't stressed those too much. I want to keep those in the equation. So I'm going to do rear delts, but I'll do negatives with them. One more set, front delts, try to keep it heavy, finish strong. Okay. That's good. That's it. I kept it heavy. I didn't reduce on down the line. So shoulders, chest and shoulders. The new experiment. Heavy.